Zoom in now with this zoom button. Oh, I can't believe it just did that. See that? You pressed the wrong button, forget it. So, I haven't put a character together in a little while, so. Alright, so we gotta go back on this, get the bends on the character where you want them. See, that's too squashed for what I'm looking for. So once you get all these extremes, this way when I animate it, it won't look so squashed. So there we are. You have to be in frame 0. I forgot about that. So here's what we do. We start going back and forth. See how that loses all grip over the bone? But by going back to the right, you're making this piece bigger, and see how it's warping everything? So you want it just about average, so it's just enough pull on it, but not extreme. So you just want to start and then stop right there. And then this piece you want to shrink. I might have that bone in the wrong spot. It's a little bit tricky at first, but so there you go there. This piece, you go too small with that, you end up with problems. So you don't want that part to go any smaller there for the leg. See what's going on there? That's a problem with the bone. The bone's in the wrong spot. So I gotta adjust that. It's a bit of a bit of a challenge, but I think I could do it. So none of that's really the problem. The problem is I gotta reorganize these bones. So moving on, let's shrink some of this, and you press the transform button, and then you just either shrink that connection or increase that connection. But I think I need to bring this down maybe. See how the foot goes down with it? So you want to make sure that's not too bad. Let's test it out. And then you gotta go in here and do this again. Let's do one thing at a time. See, that's better already. See how I gave it more distance? So that's better right there. That's pretty good right there. I mean, that's kind of what I was going for. Yeah, that's good. It's going to be bent a little, but most times you're not going to be that close to the... I'd say that's good right there. It's not perfect, but it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. As long as you got it so it's not totally deformed with the bone. See, this is not that good here. I need more, either more or less grip on that. If I put less grip, then it doesn't do anything. But if I put too much grip, then it changes everything else. So it's a fine balance of trying to get all this right. I haven't practiced this in a while, but see right there, it's a little bit crimped on the knee, but it's still pretty good. I think I'm going to go with this for now. I could always change it later. Even after you've animated stuff, you could change it. See, let's fix this right now. We gotta go over here. And then we gotta straighten this out here. we have to go here, click on this piece, shrink that down a little bit, bring this piece down a little, and then shrink that a little, and then bring that foot back up. Let's hope that worked. Let's take a look. So you go into your transform, and that's good right there, yeah. See that? It's not too bad. You can bend it without losing too much though. Minimal change there, but it's probably not that bad. Alright, so let's move on up to the arms and get this all squared away. Save often, because I've had too many experiences where I didn't save it and forget it. Lost everything. Hundreds of hours of work when I was younger, and I had to restart everything. I learned by it, but it wasn't too good. Anyway, this piece here, I'm wondering what I should do here. Let's test it out. Bring this up, bend the arm. That's not bad. It's a little bit crimped right at the pivot, so maybe we could change that. Maybe move that secondary bone here, rotate it. So the way to do that, you see that, you can rotate just like that. One thing we could do is move that up a little more maybe, and then put that there, and then take that there and move that there. Let's see how that worked. So you gotta go back in here. Still on frame 0. We're testing all this stuff out, and then you gotta bend it. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's good. That's fine. I'm not gonna be doing too much with that anyway. He's just gonna be in a relaxed state with his arm. So there's that situation. Now to move over, you drag and let go, and you can get to this arm. See? You gotta go down here to adjust this, pull this out, and then bend that arm. See, this is a little too squashed here, so I want to go into this. So you gotta go back up here now and adjust this. Try to get it similar to that other bone. So I picked the transform tool. I think I could go a little bit more centered there, and then shrink this down a little. That there. How's that finger? I guess that's alright. Take this piece. I kind of want that centered there. And then I guess that should be alright. Just in case I add a weapon later. Actually, I'll just shrink it down to the appropriate size. And then I could always add a bone later. But I think actually I'll just go like that for now. Anyway, I think that's it. Let's see what happens here. So you gotta go all over the place with this. It's because I'm zoomed in too close. So let's test it out. And let's see if I gotta get this right. That looks pretty good right there. It's a little, it looks a little off because this piece is hanging off his arm like that. So we could always move that in a little closer on the pivot. But generally, that's not bad. So let's do some animation now that we got all that squared away. First, you always want to save it. The good news is with this program, so there we go, save, and always have a backup copy of your original file saved somewhere else besides your hard drive. This way you never lose your stuff. So anyway, well, within reason anyway. So here's Max all pieced together. Let's see what he looks like under the preview option. There he is. Of course I could worry about that, but this is for the video game for now, so I'm not going to worry about that too much. So there's Max. This is a new hand I created for him because in the original it looked a little odd. So I added these textures to him in the Photoshop type program. It's called GIMP, G-I-M-P. It's a free Photoshop-like program. It's really a really good program. So there we go. And then we can just exit the preview. And now the first thing I want to do is go to frame 1. I'll say he's in that funny pose. So we can just go highlight on that and then delete that. And look, he's back to his normal default. Oh no, what happened? That's weird. Oh, there you go, see. So anyway, here we go. We want to take his layer, which is this here. You just want to line that up with that. We're going to pretend that's the floor. Now we want to zoom in with this. This is the zoom. So he's filling up most of the frame. You want a square box for any video games. And this will be prepared for the video game. And let's say you wanted to have them go the other way. You just open that by double clicking it, and then press flip horizontal, and see how it created a keyframe. Where is it? There it is. See that? Layer horizontal flip. Now to get rid of that, you can just go like that, and then he's back to normal. But Steve, his keyframe's still here. You could delete it if you want, but I'll leave it in there. So let's move on. You gotta click on the animation. That's not an animation tool. It's manipulate bones, kinematics, inverse kinematics. So first thing you want to do is decide how many frames do I want this animation. I always say 24 frames is good for a video game. Technically 48 is good for an animation. 48 frames is about 2 seconds, 24 frames per second. So let's do that for now. And then we'll